Hello and welcome to the Torch Snuffers podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Garza, and with me to talk about Survivor Season 37, Episode 6 of David versus Goliath is my lovely panel of co-hosts. And with me, as always, is Alex Cash.
Hey.
Ben Neely.
Hi, friends.
And Stephen Lehman.
Hello.
Hi. So let's get into it. We had a very exciting, it's entirely possible that it is episode 7 and not 6. I already don't remember what I typed out in the name for this episode. But it is the merge episode of that, I am sure. And yes, this is for episode 7. It's fine. I'm fine.
Finally.
Yes, now the game is officially afoot. It is the merge. Everyone is now dateable. It is great. The game is happening. Allison's getting airtime. It's just like a magical time all around. And we, as always, have the magical merge feast, where we have Gabby being a crazy person and like looking at everyone's napkin holder to see if there's clues. But honestly, were y'all not expecting there to be something there? Because I totally was. I was just waiting for like her to to peel the paper back on that sign and have it be like an idol clue or something. I don't know.
I really loved that Survivor finally threw a red herring at us. Like, who didn't take that completely hook, line, and sinker? Like, everybody was like, Gabby is getting a very strong, like, I know what's happening at this table, waiting for that magical music to hit us, being like, here's an advantage. And we didn't have Gabby getting an advantage. ... question mark?
Or anyone getting except for the food and the beer.
I'm not entirely convinced that that sign is not still going to be there 3 days later. Just like, are you sure? Are you sure you have it dug right under the sign? Production hasn't taken away this particular part of the merch be set up for a reason.
To follow up on that, it looked like I thought I saw somewhere on like Twitter that there was a tree on the beach that had the same like outcropping and design as the one on the little advertisement for the merge feast. So I was thinking like that could be like a, hey, dig here for a clue or advantage or something. So that's another theory I've seen pop up online. So the fact that Gabby got that focus, to me, means she might get something later with that. Or it could just be she gave them the content at the time, and they were like, ooh, let's like suck the audience in with this one. So
yeah, like,
I don't know if there was
really not crying. Like, let's get that on the show. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I envision production like actually having planted something there, but like no one was smart enough to actually see it, and they're just like in the corner being like, damn it, we're gonna have to like peel this like clue away and like find another spot to put it or something.
I mean, I don't know. There was no string of any colored fashion wrapped around any items at that table. So I don't know. Maybe they actually just wanted to have people enjoy a meal for once.
So,
what if? Do you remember the Game Changers pizza boxes?
yeah.
What if that logo shows up on pizza boxes when they have a pizza award, and the hidden immunity idol is actually that little plastic thing that they put into the pizza to keep it from sticking to the roof of the box?
I know exactly what. Oh my god, that's terrifying that I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, you do work for a pizza company, so it makes sense. Oh my god, both of your expertises coming into play here tonight, Stephen. But yeah, I don't know. So we have the merge. We have 7 Goliaths, 6 Davids. It's gonna be so easy, at least according to John, who's like, why yes, obviously the Goliaths will stay Goliath strong. We'll vote all the Davids out, and then we'll battle it out like gentlemen. And I just threw my face like, LOL, God bless you, John. Like, that's so ladies. How it goes.
He's equal opportunity.
He did also shout out the ladies there.
That's true. Oh my gosh. At one point, during the immunity challenge, John was just standing there, and I was like, is he flexing or is that just like his body? Like, it's
The
so
second
it's
one,
the
the
latter.
ladder.
yeah, I was like, what? I was very impressed. So good for him for working out for his wrestling career. Yeah. But not that it, I guess, really helped in this challenge because we had a female win. And it was great.
Yeah, a wild Allison appeared again.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw her. She's definitely been more under the radar this season than we thought she was going to be after episode 1, but she's getting some quality content when she is coming on, so it's exciting. I feel like it's kind of making up for her being weirdly shamed / put in her place unnecessarily by Jeff on episode 1. But I don't know. I'm digging it. I'm not digging, however, the necklace itself.
Yeah, it looks like one of Probst's like interns had like a craft day, and Probst was like, "Oh, that's cute. You tried." Like,
Or it was like bring your child to work day, and they like that's what a kid came up with.
Like,
and they were like, "Oh yes, we love it so much." Of course.
I'm like waiting for that necklace to accidentally hypnotize someone with all the swirls.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff to it. I didn't think about that.
A lot of painted swirls on a lot of weird shell / rock. Yeah. I don't know. I play this video game called Hearthstone, and they have like the same blue swirly design, and I was like, is this like super subtle advertising? I get super meta with this, but I don't know. Yeah, so not my favorite. It was not, I don't know. I'm just used to more like pizzazz or more like fierce, like,
Yeah.
fear me, I have this necklace around my neck. And it was just like, fear me, my child has a terrible skill in arts. I don't know. But
Yeah, it's better than the Worlds Apart necklace. Anything's better than the Worlds Apart necklace.
Which one was that? What did that have on it?
That one had like weird like green gemstones and just like it you could actually see how just like the random beach detritus was like tied on with like the same wire that you use to make the hooks to put Christmas ornaments on your trees, you know?
Oh, that's so sad. Oh no, we deserve better than that as fans of the show. We deserve true art. But it's fine. Anyway, so she wins. Not that it makes really much of a difference because her name was never really going to be thrown around. Anyway, but it's fine. I don't know. So we had lots of reuniting of old like people, like alliances. Like we had Dan and Kara getting back together, reuniting, and it feels so good that Dan blurts out immediately that he's another fucking idol because he's insane, and like Overcome and just like word vomits everything to Kara.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just, God bless Dan, but he is so bad at thinking he is so good. But like,
It's funny. It's really funny because like I see Dan and John in a very similar way where they both are so naive and inept to the game of Survivor. But Dan actually tries to defy that fact and tries to advocate as if he is a good player, whereas John is just like, let me have my abs in a beach and have a great time, and like, I'll just keep going through this experience. Whereas Dan actually thinks that he's a good player right now, when it's just the fact that he has too little trinkets in his pocket.
I think I have two things on Dan. The first being, if anyone in this game can misplay two idols at once or at all, it is him. He is the person I'd like pick, number one draft pick for misplaying two idols. Easy. And then secondly, did we like what are our thoughts about his like self-hype during the immunity challenge? Because like, do we
I love it. I love that it formed a theme because that self-hype came right before he, fell out of the challenge, but also B, and this is going to be something that I'm sure we're going to discuss a lot in just a few minutes. Right before that tribal council, Angelina's standing there on the beach by herself like,
It was the episode of self-affirmations.
As they say, it's the year of realizing things.
Yeah.
Manifest it.
Although, you know, like Jeff talks so much shit like during the challenges that maybe they need to like talk themselves up just to like cancel it all out. They're like, damn you, Jeff.
Yeah.
You're not right, even though you probably are.
Dan clinking his pendulum against the structure the entire time. Yeah, Jeff, I'm the man. Woo! Like him trying to fire back.
I know. I don't know. I feel like some of the times he would be like, oh, and like they have lost momentum, but they like hadn't lost momentum yet, quite yet, on the verge, but not. And then like suddenly they were just like, oh, I guess I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, like Sneaky John, like stepping off and like trying to pretend like he hadn't lost his balance, and Jeff was like, John, get out.
John stepping off the pedestal.
Which I mean, like, I get it. Like, I would probably try to do it too, but like, also, there's so many cameras. Like,
Yeah.
like you're not gonna get that past anyone. Like, you know, they have people like hiding in those trees, like speaking to like Jeff in his earpiece, being like, "John down, John down."
Yeah. Although there was one camera, I think it was on Kara, that like looked like it had been knocked over by accident, which gave us like a weird Dutch angle, like when she fell off.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, you're right. They did have those weird like under the idol, like under the statue angles, but it was
because they hide cameras in all sorts of interesting spots. Like I remember there was a behind the scenes video where they showed like how like I think it was for Gabon, like how they had like a bunch of termite mounds, and so they would make artificial termite mounds to put cameras in. And so there's just little they find all sorts of places to put cameras, and so like they just like stuck it like in the corner of the apparatus to just get that POV view of like right when they fall off.
Wow. That is so Survivor production. I just am impressed. There's a lot of effort. I don't know. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so we had Dan and Kara. We had a new alliance was forming, which was exciting. We had Christian, Alec, secret, no one will ever guess this alliance, which I feel like happens every time people align. They're like, no one will ever know. Except Dan and Kara, because they just talk for 3 hours at night and everyone can hear them as they giggle and like snuggle and like that's whatever. Dan has no chill, it's fine. Because like same. But we have the Christian Alec alliance. So everyone wants to work with Christian. He's like got all the bros, you know, wanting to keep him safe and like keep him around. So it's exciting because like same. I also would want to work with Christian and keep him safe. So
yeah, that alliance is kind of interesting because like so we have Christian. Christian has the Gabby connection. Gabby has the Allison connection. Christian also has the Nick connection. Nick also has the Mike connection. So those 5 make sense. And then Alec, who I don't know if he's talked to any of these people before, but all of a sudden he just shows up in the middle of the episode going the whole time. It's just like, okay, sure, he's part of the alliance that is supposedly going to run the game. Except like that it got talked up so much that like so we know theoretically exactly what their plan is to get to the final 6, which means it's not going to happen that way.
no.
Like if so much of Survivor strategy talk focuses on what to do about this vote, and talking about future plans is whatever's shown to us is just shown in the vaguest of senses, because if they were to say what was actually going to happen for the rest of the season and it did, it would be boring. So the fact that that he's just like, and this is my path to the 6. It's not even your path to the 11, honey.
I struggle so hard because, like, on one hand, I totally vibe that and think that you're just gonna self-destruct. Like, I low-key think that Alec is playing like a teenager and will fuck up. But at the same time, you like look at the editing, they have very naturally like connected us to every piece of that 6-person alliance. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just the focus from last episode with the Allison Christian and like the Allison and Gabby stuff, but like it just seems to me like they've been very intentional to show us every piece of that puzzle coming together when it came together during like the they gave us all the puzzle pieces during the pre-merge for this puzzle to come together, this alliance to come together as it has at the merge very organically, it seems like. Like, other than Alec randomly being like, I'm going to be your survivor god and make all these alliances. Everything else about that alliance, like, we were like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. They worked together for a round or two. Like, so it was like, I don't know. I kind of think that they're going to be the defining piece of this part of the game.
Yeah, so part of me was kind of shocked that like those 6 kind of almost I mean, I guess it's not immediately, but like kind of revealed like who their one other top person was, because it seemed like everyone was kind of picking like another person to bring into the alliance. So I was surprised that they would like so easily kind of give up the names of those people, but also we saw in the preview for next week that alliance is already in trouble and they haven't even done anything together yet. So I don't know if that's just like a red herring and like we're being thrown off and actually they're going to be fine, but like it just seems like there's a lot of drama already that's going to happen next week that we're going to see with that alliance, and we'll see like how tight it holds, because it would be a bummer for it to not work out. It really does make so much sense, especially reiterating what Ben said, that like we've had such intentional like pairings that have shown like those bonds kind of getting stronger and like forming. So I don't know, but we'll see, because if Angelina has anything to say, and she often does have a lot to say, like it might not go down as easily as that group would like. So yeah, she's a lot. The only thing I had written down for her was Angelina mad. I feel like that encompasses her like at all times in any given episode. Like she's upset and you know it.
Angelina is, you can see how analytical and like how it like like she shows that she's a smart person. At the same time, she's a really fucking stupid game player. And it's really weird because she portrays herself to be so intelligent, while at the same time she does unnecessary BS like, hey Elizabeth, you want to know something? Let's have a 5-second drive-by conversation where I tell you this, and then walk away and make me look even more shadier than I could have done, which is unprecedented because my name's Angelina.
Meanwhile, like freaking out and being like, oh my god, I would be so murdered if anyone saw me. Like I must run away. Like yeah, but I don't know. The whole time I was watching that, I was just like, damn, that jury management though. Like you're already trying to like do someone a solid, and I'm honestly so shocked that it did not come back and completely bite her in the ass, like for this vote. Like very rarely, I think we've seen on Survivor has like someone told someone else that they're going home with hours and hours left before the vote, and something dramatic like hasn't happened to completely shift the vote in a different direction.
Well, I mean, to me, I think that's just because, like, you know, it's 13. There is ample time left to, you know, make moves. So, and I mean, you know, if you're having a unanimous vote, which, by the way, first ever unanimous vote at the merge in Survivor history.
Whoa!
We've had plenty of 10-2s, 8-2s, but no 12-1s. But yeah, so I think if people were gonna, if it was so tilted in that direction, then gathering like 6 other votes to flip it at the last minute, probably not worth the social capital with like 20 days left. But yeah, that was that was still an incredibly poorly judged way to go about things.
Yep.
And she covered her ass not at all.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And it's interesting because like so Angelina ultimately didn't get her way. Like she wanted Christian out, which of course upset like almost everyone. But I just find it like I don't know. I've always found it weird when at this stage of the game, like there's so many people that you could vote out. Like, why do you have to get your way for every vote? Like, as long as someone is going home that like you're not working with, you're not aligned with, like, does it really matter like if it's that person or a different person at this stage in the game? Like, for me, no. Like, as long you're getting that much closer to like the $1 million by like saying goodbye to someone that isn't you
Right.
and isn't your people. So
I think the being devil's advocate on her, like I would like if I was in her shoes, I would be that person kind of crusading the fight against a Christian because duh, if you think you do have the numbers, that would be the best thought for your majority alliance is to
yeah.
like
I just
threaten
think like with someone like Angelina who doesn't have as much social capital, I think as some of the other Goliath members do right now, like it was a bold move, but I think it was a bit miscalculated and not like it just goes back to Angelina not having like tons of self-awareness. Like she is a very strategic player, but she makes it known that she's a strategic player to the point where it is not strategic to do that. Like she has all these sneaky like ideas, which would be really awesome if she was more subtle, like a player like Sandra, who has all these crazy thoughts, but like is keeping them to herself or executing them quietly instead of like blatantly like hitting you over the head with like this is what I want to do and you know Jackagate and like all this stuff. So I don't know. I also am a little partial because like I would have preferred Elizabeth over Angelina just because Elizabeth has had some lines that have absolutely cracked me up. Like, and I've laughed harder at some of the things she's said than I like can remember laughing about like while watching Survivor. So I appreciated her like outburst, like her kind of like one-liner outburst that you're just like, oh my gosh, Elizabeth, like who are you? Like what is your life? And like I don't know, but. R.I.P. No more squirrel hunting exclamations.
Elizabeth, Elizabeth, can I have your flannel?
But really,
what regarding the vote, what I will say that I thought was really interesting and kind of informs me about what could be the power of that alliance of 6. They didn't give us like a David versus Goliath like vote edit or anything of that nature. Like that, I found it interesting that that's normal. Like the default is like the original tribe dynamics and how that will play in terms of vote. There really wasn't any strong focus onto like David versus Goliath or like Elizabeth like trying to rally David's or conversely Angelina with Goliath, anything like that. And I found that interesting. And seeing the vote end up being a 12-1, I think is a great indication for the sustainability of the alliance of 6 because I think that alliance therefore brought in the minorities of the Davids. Because I don't see any other logic behind everyone unanimously voting unless the Davids, like the Christians and the Nicks, told the other Davids, this is like a stab at us, like a double-edged sword, so we can get ahead later. Because explain the Davids not like the Davids willingly voting out Elizabeth.
yeah. I mean, I know Carl wasn't a fan of Elizabeth at the very least, and I don't think Davey was either, so it probably was just easier to like just all vote together and not even like make an enemy.
Speaking of Davey, where was he this week?
Yeah,
Right?
he got
He had
nothing.
no Davey.
I know, no delightful like one-liners, no like catching
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also on the subject of what Elizabeth could have done after being told, according to her, that was like right before they left for tribal. So what we saw her do, that was all she had time to do. She didn't even have time to consult all the Davids about it.
Right.
And also, I'm not sure if this was mentioned in the episode, but she also named the Alliance of Six, the Strike Force 6.
Oh, yeah.
Nick is involved, therefore it does have a name.
Wait, who named it that? Do we
That's for the
know? But Elizabeth seems to know the name of it, which, I guess it would have...
No, that was, I thought that was
during jury.
I thought that was the Nick Allison. I thought that was the Strike Force.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Yeah, but she said the Strike Force 6 and then listed those 6.
Oh.
And this was an exit? Like
Yes.
Elizabeth being aware of it?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I don't trust that Alliance of Six anymore.
Well, no, she said she didn't know at the time.
Oh, this was in exit interviews.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, right.
Okay, sorry. That's why I was confused, because I remember they mentioned it on the show itself. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We could. Yeah, but overall, solid merge episode. And I'm excited for what is to come, because I think it's going to continue to be a lot more interesting. Hopefully we get Davey back soon, because I miss him.
I hope so.
We need
and now we only have
somebody.
and now we only have one cowboy hat left. So Carl, the full cowboy.
As the explosive personalities fall one by one, we need more and more people to step up. That's just how you keep the engine rolling into the late game.
Just remember, Wild Allisons didn't appear until episode 7, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Cool. Anyway, anything else before we wrap up?
I just want Angelina to tell a different person every tribal council that they have poor form.
Yes!
And I hope that's her jury vote. You had okay form.
Great skin.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, we will see you next week for another episode. And until then, have a lovely life.
Bye.